Kia ora, talofa lava everybody. My name's Katrina. Thank you for watching. I have my beautiful friend Thelma here today, and we thought we would talk about our dads. Yeah, big topic.
Yeah.
And just by talking like informally with each other, definitely big differences in relationships with our dads. So maybe you can start, where your dad is from.
So I have a bio dad, I call him, or bio father. That's my mum's first marriage. His name is Grant. And I actually belong to him, but I was never brought up by him.
Mm-hmm.
So when my mum was pregnant with me, that first marriage had been dissolved.
Yeah.
And hence finding out she was pregnant and she had met my dad.
Your dad,
Yeah. And from day dot, he's been my dad. So bio dad and I have never had a connection. But being brought up with my dad, we had a awesome relationship.
Daddy's girl?
Very much so. Dad's girl.
Daddy's girl. And did
Yeah.
Dad have any children before meeting Mum?
No. Hence why I think our connection was the way it was, because Dad couldn't have children.
Okay.
As far as I knew, yeah. So I was his first
One and only. Yeah. Did you have to fight Mum for him?
No, probably not. He was pretty good, and I think just the way he was, very old and fashioned in his ways. He was the provider, the worker, and so when he was home from mahi, so he was a shearer, so worked in the shearing sheds. Used to travel a lot, but when he was home with us.
Yeah.
And my older sister and brother, so he had adopted my older brother and sister, but they had a connection with bio father. Sorry. Yeah, so but yeah. No, I don't think I had to fight Mum for him.
Yeah. My dad was, so we were adopted, but once again, Dad was dead.
Yeah.
The only dad that I've ever known. And he had, Mum and Dad had separated when I was a year old. So I don't have any recollection of Dad being in the home. And then through a series of events, and it would have been a cultural shift or a cultural clash with Dad, and my mum's family was probably the turning point of why that relationship didn't go any further. So, yeah, our experiences are definitely different in Dad being, your dad was around 100%, whereas our dad, he lived in Kimberley, then he lived in Flaxmere, so it wasn't like he was out of reach. But looking back now with, an adult head, it would have been a lot of reasons why Dad wasn't in our lives, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There was no... we never hated our dad. Mum did a really good job of instilling it in us. He's your dad. He's the only dad you have. So I think we kind of carried that level of respect towards Dad that didn't make us feel any negativity towards him, just with an understanding of, okay, things happen. Yeah. Definitely probably saw traditional families growing up in school, mum, dad, kids, and our one was, the picture looked a little bit different, but that was okay.
I can understand that, because my older brother and sister, they didn't have the same connection with my dad, and I always say my dad because I think at some point when they were younger, they had made connections with the bio father. So, and I think when my dad came into the picture, they probably already knew a little bit about their father. So, but the relationship as we got older with Dad, totally different, and even Mum's probably in a way, because so bio Dad's parents he had a Pākehā mum and Māori dad, and they were, I think the grandmother had a big influence on their upbringing. Just remembering visits that they'd make but never visited me, it was, Mum would always say, "Oh, your grandparents are in town." So I'm thinking, now that I think of it, probably their dad was in town too, but
never quite thinking I'm going to go off and see granddad and grandma and dad. No,
was never ever like that. Always like, why do I got to go?
Yeah.
Because they're not there to see me anyway. But then deep down too, I didn't want to go because I felt like I might hurt my father.
Yes. What age did you work out you had a biological father? Or was it always something that you were told?
Yeah, it was something I was told at a younger age, probably primary school maybe, probably about 5, 6.
Could you understand what it meant though?
Probably not at the time, not the way I was told anyway.
Yeah.
I'm only laughing because, like my older sibling wasn't the kindest about it, because she was just very matter of fact, and that my dad wasn't her dad, and full stop, which is fine.
Yeah, and kids
fine.
say certain things, and you can't articulate as well as we can.
No. So I kind of grew up with that anyway, but it probably made mine and my mum's relationship different.
Okay.
As in, like, I just gravitate to dad.
Yep.
Because of that connection.
Tell him really personal things?
Sometimes. But I think, when I think about it now, I kind of think he actually knew without even saying.
I'm sure that intuition that parents have, and he was, watching you move through your young life, because as you know, as we know, you and Ray met at quite a young age, and that was a big turning point when you had to talk to Dad.
Both of us, but I think even when Dad used to go away sharing and stuff like that, I think he kind of knew little things that I didn't even have to say out loud. Yeah. But he was a man that, like, if supported you 100%. Like, we were sports orientated. Dad loved sports, and he loved it when us kids played sports.
Oh, yeah.
So he was there, without a doubt. What time to get us there?
Really dependable, supportive.
Very, very supportive in that role, and which I loved. Yeah. Because it was like, oh, my dad's coming. Just one of those things. And Mum was there. Yeah. But I don't know, you just feel it.
I think I have one recollection of our dad coming, because Dad was a glazier, so he would work Monday to Saturday. Yeah. And I don't know, I can't remember why he was there, but it was definitely a netball game, because I remember the place, it was cold, rainy, a typical Saturday winter morning, and I'm pretty sure he came along with his good work friend at the time and our younger brother, and he wasn't a typical sports dad, it would have been, I've got a break in the day, I'll quickly pop in, but he was there. And I don't recall going home with him. Maybe he gave us probably some money to go to the shop after, that kind of thing, but that was okay. Yeah. And I don't know who said for him to come to watch. Not that it was ever you can't see the girls. It was he's made it. So no, that's cool.
You take that, eh?
Yeah. No. So your dad's passed?
Yes, he's passed in 2002. So it's been a good 22, 23 years.
Had he met all of the children?
Yeah. No, he Oh, you mean my kids?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, so only me cow.
Oh, yeah.
Me cow, and then Laurie was, that's the second baby, she would have been 5, 6. Yeah. Geez, I'm trying to think. Maybe a little bit older, but not Dom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dom has no recollection. But my kids, they're like how I was.
Yeah, just in love with him.
Yeah, and he was a very firm man.
Oh yeah.
Very, very firm man, but a very private man at the same time. So, but if we had, say my first cousins had babies, and he'd take them under their wing. He just had a lot of love to give to kids.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was very firm.
Yeah.
You just had to be upfront with him, I would say, when you look at it. No beating around the bush. He was just that type, like, oh, you ask Dad because we need to do, you might go somewhere or da-da-da. And it was like, oh, yeah, I'll ask him. Yeah. And you're like, he'll go, oh, what do you want to go there for? And then I'll go, oh, okay, then what time do I pick you up? You had to let him take it in first, and depending on what and where it was.
Yes.
But he was very much that. But, the kids, like, I could hand on heart say, especially my two, because my brother and sister's children, well, their parents moved away from home young, so I kind of had that to myself.
Yeah, so you're really lucky. Yep. I think for our children, my sister and I, we lived locally, of course, and so Dad was around too, and we do have good memories of. We do a lot of whānau, usually Sunday, get-togethers, go over to, the parents and all kind of... So there are some really good memories amongst everything else. And there was a period where Dad would pick up like my lot when there were 4 of them only, pick them up on a Sunday, take them to McDonald's, go and do the shopping and all of those. But Dad was very harsh too, as in harsh... very known to be really grumpy, and it's always quite a funny thing. He can be very grumpy, make the children, cry because they're like, oh, but then he's the one that they would gravitate to because he would, be funny and all of this. And he'd have this silly hand puppet thing. This was our dad's, this hand puppet. And, children love that stuff. We think it's just stupid, but Dad would pull that out and every child would just be like, enthralled by it. So, that was cool.
No, that is funny. That was Dad's thing. So Sundays was our family days. So regardless, like when the kids came along, I'm just taking the mokos out, you stay home. But he'd always come around home, bring Ray the Sunday news because it's got all the stuff for the sports. Yeah. So Saturdays was our sports day. Dad, whoever was playing, go and watch, do that. Sunday was family day. He'd come and pick up my mokos. Just take them home, and it'll be Sunday lunch at Mum and Dad's.
Nice.
So he'd cook, he'd do all of that. When we were younger, it was Sundays.
Yeah.
Get in the car early in the morning, and he'd do Sunday drives, Napier, or if it was summer, hit the river, hit the beach, stay there all day till the night, and just
really
spending time. Loved it. Loved those days.
Oh, wonderful.
He was the one, lambtails at the river and stuff like that, barbecues. Oh, awesome. Very, that way inclined. Those are the greatest things I remember about Dad. But
was there a time? Yep. There a time when you just knew that you'd let Dad down?
Probably. Well, at the time I probably didn't think so.
Yeah.
But probably when I met Ray and leaving, and I wanted to leave home.
Yeah.
Wanted to leave home, couldn't see anything past it, just wanted to be with Ray, actually.
Yeah, of course.
And I think I was like 18.
Yeah.
18, and that was probably the first thing I actually said out loud to Dad. I want to leave home. Dad, I want to leave home and I want to move in with Ray. We can live happily ever after.
And he would have been so protective of you.
Short, sharp, no at first, and then grumbled. I won't say the words. Yes, but very, and also I felt, oh my gosh, have I hurt? This man that I adore, my dad, and all of that. but I still,
of
deep
course,
down,
you're
it
gonna
was
follow
like,
your
no,
love.
I'm still going to go. Because I just wished and hoped that Dad will get over it.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be a day I can't be with my dad all the time and all of that sort of stuff. But, he came around. He actually helped me get my first home because he said, I'm not going to let you rent.
Yes.
I'm never going to let you rent. And he gifted, an amount so I could get into my first home. And still knowing that Ray would be moving in.
But, it's so good, you know, that whole growth period, because you were going through so much. You wanted to be with your man and then having to break Dad's heart, but still going. I think the only time I ever kind of recall, there was no really expectation from our dad, because I think, one, you know, the big thing was he'd left us, you know, so probably, I don't know if it's true for him, but in our head was like, well, you can't really say much, you know, and it's probably being a bit mean, but my sister and I, we had our babies very young, and I probably felt he wanted to say, you can do, you know, you can, have the babies, but you can do so much more. And didn't know how to say it, but you know, without saying it, you could feel it and hear it. But that was kind of maybe not a disappointment, but maybe wanting to say some really fatherly things, but not having the grounds to, because he was gone.
That could be.
So that would have been a hard time, and a hard time. But obviously, your dad grew to love Ray.
In his way. I would say so. It took a few years. Even I think it all would have stemmed from when I got pregnant, because I was only 16. I just turned 16 actually when I had Mikael, and I remember the day I had her, and he just said to Ray, this is my baby, and I'm going to bring the baby up. You don't have to be around. And there was outside the courthouse. We were going to sign the bling-in birth certificate, that type of thing. And that stuck with Ray. It stuck with Ray quite a lot, actually right through
the pregnancy.
And even into our second baby, third baby.
Just that threat of Dad might say this, but it was said in love.
Oh yes, absolutely. As Ray learned how Dad was, but I gave Ray big ups just for sticking in there, because Dad was pretty adamant, you know, but and that kind of too changed the relationships with all of us. Really? Not in a bad way, but divided my kind of like I don't even know how to say it, like my love for Dad and that.
Was it stronger, or did you think?
I think it made it stronger, but it also strengthened my love for Ray as well. But still knowing there was like a line there, and if I needed to cross it, it was like, do I? You're
not necessarily choosing one over the other.
No.
But you it would have been really, really difficult, because, of course, your husband, and it's your dad.
You know, it's like, and that's it, because, you know, my dad was anything, everything. And yet there were times where, like my mum and dad parted at one point, and it was yucky. It was the yucky separation.
Did it affect your relationship with Dad?
It made it stronger.
Wow.
As much as I knew he had done some really stink things, and it was wrong for him.
Different to see mum without Dad or Dad without mum?
Yeah, because mum had a friend when they parted. And
did Dad know?
And that sort of really changed my relationship with mum. Because I did it the other way around, thinking, who's going to look after my dad?
Yeah.
Because I knew my dad still needed my mum.
Oh, of course.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit
No, that's okay.
But yeah, that breakup was quite.
I think I can feel that too. Like, so even though we were young, my sister and I, definitely seeing Mum alone, and Mum had a friend too.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't the same. Not that I knew Mum and Dad together, but you can understand now with adult eyes. Of course, you're going to need somebody else. You know, someone needs someone, and sometimes the picture doesn't look like how it's always looked because Mum was always with Dad. But that protectiveness and probably sadness too. I've always known my dad to always have, you know, she's our stepmum and my mum. Now for my whole life, so it's never been like, oh, Dad's been on his own. So to know also that such a big event has happened in their lives, something that was once so solid, and then you see them so vulnerable.
Well, yeah, especially for Dad, because the way Dad was, and he was very private, and when he was going all of that.
Did Dad stay in the family home or Mum?
No, Dad did. Oh. So Mum moved out and moved us out, and we moved in with my grandmother who lived in Camberley. Even to the point where the separation actually didn't last long, but when it happened, like Mum saying, you know, you got to leave school, blah, blah, blah. Well, not me. Knowing Dad was still at home, I jumped on a bus and bussed back to Flaxmead because I was like, who's going to do my dad? Who, like, just all the
because he would have
making
only
his pie and all
Dad,
of that
how
sort
old
of
would
thing.
have Dad been in his mid-50s, early 60s? So that's not necessarily too old, but through young eyes it would have been like, my dad is very
and he's alone. And I know that the way Mum and Dad were, like, they did everything together. When Dad wasn't working or anything like that, they were always together, always supported us together. But when that happened, it was just like, oh, hang on. What? And then I think because Mum had a friend and Dad was at home by himself, I was just like, you can't leave my dad by himself. So I'd run away. So I ran away a lot from Camberley to Flaxmead.
I didn't know. At least the distance wasn't big.
And I just was like, no, I can't. I can't cope knowing that Dad was on his own.
Dad was on his own.
And so I remember that. I can't even actually. But
I think, I mean, that's definitely showed through your own relationship. That stood a test of time. You know, your dedication to your dad, and then the dedication to your husband. You know, is definitely shaped.
Well, I always said he was the most important or the only man in my life, and the only one that I knew. Like Dad taught us about living off the land, and he'd always we'd go fishing, and Dad always said to us, you know, you don't have to have all the money in the world, as long as you know how to grow kai, work hard for whatever you have or anything. We had this humongous veggie garden in the back of our house. And it had any veggie you can think of.
It's there.
Dad was always, and that's where you'd find Dad. When he wasn't working, his days off, he'd be out turning the garden and planting. Every place we visit, like uncles, aunties, he'd take a clipping off a plant and then take it home. So we've got like orange tree that's from Gisborne, you know, just stuff like that, and it means a lot. And that's what he always said, as long as you can feed your family, work hard to do that. Doesn't matter how much money you got, doesn't matter any of that, and you're together. So that's probably the things he taught me about family, and just you should be able to depend on each other if you're together. You always like to feel together.
But I think you've honoured both of your parents. You know, you're definitely taking care of mum. You know, with all the trials and tribulations that brings. But I'm sure your dad wouldn't have wanted any other way.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I think so. But yeah, because even when Ray and I got married that day, he just said, you make sure, But then, when Dad got sick, so Dad just got sick out of the blue. Didn't see it coming. No, because he just got up, worked. Yep. You know, did his thing, and he got sick. And never been to a doctor in his life.
Really?
No, never did
Didn't
any of
need
that.
to.
No, never. Went to a dentist once in his whole entire life. So, because we weren't allowed like lollies, stuff like that. So, he used to feed it like fruit, as long as you had fruit. Veg,
like it was the original,
meat.
The original kai, all of from the earth, from the sea. Yeah,
Our treats were like our Sunday drives, and we were allowed to get ice cream at the shop and a few lollies, not too many, because he say get what's in teeth, or that kind of thing. And Dad never ate lollies. My dad never ate lollies, and if you saw him having ice cream or something, it was like, hey, Dad's having, where's my mum? Oh, she'd hide her lollies. That's where we'd go.
Yeah.
Or when Dad was away sharing and stuff, would have takeaway, lollies, stuff like that. But, generally
really healthy. I remember our dad, they'd gone to live in Australia, and we got a phone call from my stepmum to say, oh, your dad's in hospital. And I think I didn't really take it on board because Dad hadn't been like a steady part of our life. And I remember my sister and I, we talked about it. And then when I look back now, he was in ICU. And there was some, obviously he wasn't in a good way. He made it through, of course. Yeah. And I remember our younger brother calling too. We were really young, and he's saying, trying to give an update. But I don't think I really took it seriously, because in my head I was like, well, what do you want me to do?
No.
When I look back now, if it was now, of course I would be there. Yeah. And so Dad rang yesterday because they live out of town, and it was a really good conversation. And then he did say he had a fall. Oh. And then I said, what happened, Dad? And it was a slippery, wet mat, and what broke his fall, he fell on a bucket. So he said, but I got through that. Obviously no broken ribs, but I said, you obviously got really bruised, Dad. He goes, yep, I got bruised, but I'm okay. And then, so those kind of things, when you see that vulnerability and that kind of, they're on the cusp. Yeah. And when you would have felt that when you saw your dad get unwell.
And his was short, sharp, and then he was gone. And that's why I think that was hard. Yeah. Because Mikael and Laurie, so when they used to go, and like Dad will pick the girls up still one day, and he had like emphysema, like his lungs were thing, but then we were told, because he started getting going yellow, and that like jaundice, and that's were like, what's going on, and still. No, I'm taking you to your sports, because Mikael and Laurie were playing sports then, so they'd go and take them to T-ball, so go T-ball and stuff, and then he was getting like out of breath, and it was like, what's going on? So I even as old as I was, I probably really didn't understand what was going on with Dad. But and then next minute we were in hospital because he couldn't breathe properly, so he was on tank. Lungs and stuff. Then got him back home. We stayed in hospital for a little bit. So this all happened before Christmas. And then I remember I was at home, and Laurie, Mum, you got to come. So I went to, because they were at Mum and Dad's, got there, and Dad had a heart attack. So, and the ambulance was there, and my poor kids were, trying to feed their papa as well as Mum. So he went off to the hospital, and well, when he came out, he had passed. So, but while we were there, he was there for during Christmas.
Yeah.
So a week, and they found out that he had cancer. But I think he just got to a point where, as the person that he was, because we were like talking hospice and stuff. Oh, we're going to take you out, and we'll look after you in the hospice. And the night before he was to be transferred there, he passed. And but I was in the room when he passed. Then he fought it. Man, he fought hard. But it was like he was asleep all day, and I said, I won't be long. I'm going to go and buy you some nice new jammies and stuff like that. So, and I walked from the hospital into town, walked back, and he was still asleep. And it was in probably late afternoon, and when he woke, he was just like, I'm not going to the hospice. And then it was like, you just woke up. And then he had some kind of attack. I don't know, And and then he was sort of gone, and then it was just like
very short space of time.
Very short. And I thought, geez. And from that time on, it was just like,
I don't have my dad.
And I think I still even now.
Do you talk to him?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I think you've told me you've definitely dreamed of him.
He's
come through.
I've had a few dreams with him, even of late actually, and but Ray got me through that. So I went through a period, and I know like Mum was grieving, and I think like with my brother and sister, there's just a blank. Only probably because I knew how they felt, really, but that whole period of him and his best friend, so he had a really best friend, and I used to call him my uncle.
Was Dad born here?
No, Waidel. Dad's from Waidel, Nuhaka. And he's got siblings that we never knew about.
Really?
That's how private Dad was.
Oh, wow.
So
Are
Dad
they still alive?
I think he's only got 2 siblings left, still alive. And they were all brought up scattered. Dad was brought up from when he turned 12 or 13, he said he left home.
That sounds a lot like my dad. So my dad was one of, I know he had his 2 youngest siblings were from another father, and then he had 2 sisters, another brother. So he's one of 7. And then he had said he was about 14, and he kind of hightailed it from home. Hard upbringing. Well, this is his series of events. He was born in Te Kōpuru, up north in Dargaville. And then he did say that he went over to Australia for a very short period, bit of a working stint, really young. He's only had one career his whole life. He's a glazier by trade, but a really well known, you know what they're like. They know their trade. That you don't make them like that anymore. No. I just always call them a dinosaur. They can just look at something, see it, just by the eye. Just that talent where I don't know if it exists anymore. I want to say it doesn't because I'm so proud of them. And really won't talk themselves up in what they know. No. They're just like and real old school men, like you just go and do it. You go build it, make it. Why isn't it done?
I can agree with that. So dad was brought up by his mum and dad, but as far as I know, his mum died young, and they had a stepmum, so he had 7. There were 7 of them, maybe 8. Sorry, 8. We only knew of one brother. Because he lived in Whitehall. The rest of them, I would say, were either brought up somewhere else or they just left home. And he's got a sister in Hawaii that's still alive. But his stepmum was cruel. So he had a cruel upbringing by her. And then he said he decided, I'm not doing this anymore, and he left home, 12 or 13 years old. He doesn't actually know, because he didn't actually know when his birthday was.
His real birthday.
Yeah. So he ended up an Aussie. He used to jump ships.
Wow.
He never had a trade, but he was a hard worker.
Yeah.
So he mahi the land and that type of thing. And from there, I think he came back, and then he met Mum.
Wow. Yep.
He actually came from Whakatane. So he had a lady friend there. And then decided it wasn't him for him, and left her.
And made his way
back here to Hastings, and then he met Mum. But never spoke of his family.
No.
Never. And we only knew of his brother in Whitehall, and he passed away young in a diving accident. And he had a brother in Havelock.
Oh.
That sort of came to fruition as we got older, I gather, and he was really close to him.
Oh, good.
But not
didn't know
anyone else. So when Dad died,
did a lot of people come out of the
well,
woodwork?
we got to a tangi. There was a tangi that my first cousins from my Uncle Morris, the brother that we knew, his children said, "Oh, need to come to it's Dad's sister."
Okay.
It's his sister's husband has passed away, and we were like, "Oh, Dad's got a sister." So we went, and then we were sitting in the. All I remember sitting in the hall, and I said to Mum,
I recognise.
"Yeah, there's some. Do you see those men over there? They look like Dad."
Oh.
And they were his brothers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he had two brothers that lived in the South Island, and actually another brother that lived in Wairoa that we didn't know.
Wow.
And the sister lived here.
Yep.
So when Dad actually died, she was actually at Dad's tangi.
Oh.
But we didn't
Just
know.
had no idea. So.
Yeah. And so that was lovely. But we'd never ever met the sister that's in Hawaii. Staunch Mormon family. Dad had told us, "Oh, I'm Mormon," but you know.
You're just like, you're not practicing.
Yeah, I don't practice. But if they come round home, he'd invite them in.
Yeah.
Invite them in. You want a kai? Do you want a beer? And that was it. And they were all good with it. But I remember that, and that's why I was like, oh my God. Dad was fluent Te Reo Māori, but never spoke it.
You say,
Never spoke it. We only found out when my mum's family in Gisborne, her brother-in-law, Dad took a shine to him. I remember every time they see each other, amazing. And then next minute he's like, kōrero Māori, and it was like, hey, taken kōrero Māori. But I did Māori at school, and like, Dad, I need help.
Never pipe up.
No, he'd go, that ain't Māori. Or what are you saying?
Yeah,
you know, so it was just like, and never, He'd go, no.
Oh, look at that.
So all of those sort of things, it was like, wow. But that's how private he was.
Wow.
And he always said, I don't talk about my family because it wasn't nice.
Yeah.
And that was it. And we left it at that.
Yeah.
But sad at this point now, like how whakapapa is quite a big thing. And I think I just, I've left it up to my kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you would call it, but it's like, oh,
yeah, I know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I always
get
life
stage.
Like the kids go, well, don't you want to know? And it just seems a lot for me.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it's like, as long as my kids want to, and they know they got brother and sister, or all of that.
Yeah.
And that auntie's this auntie, and
they like that, like I'm a lot like you too. If they turned up on my doorstep, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to actively seek out anything for me. And because when I do talk to Dad, he will rattle off people, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but I might have met them once or not at
Yeah.
all. But that's okay. I
Yeah.
think that's just that connection they're just trying to make sure you know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dad's 40. So, after Dad's tangi, also, a lady turned up on our doorstep, and she said she was Dad's daughter.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So, and that, honestly, when I answered the door, it threw me
Yes.
back into, oh my God, I've lost my dad all over again. I thought I was his only one. and it was like, oh my God.
Was it true?
No. So
did she get
she
a brother
actually
mixed
belonged,
up?
yeah. So her mother told her it was my dad.
Yeah.
But a good friend of Dad's and who knew Mum and us very, very well, we were at a function and Mum mentioned it to them, and Uncle turned around and was like, no, that's not, that no, really? She doesn't belong to Sonny. And I was like, paying, okay. Only for myself. And I was going, oh, sorry about it. But, I was like, oh.
It's my dad.
Yeah. And I just felt for her at the end of it because she was told Dad was her dad. And she was looking. And she was in her, she must have been in her 40s maybe when she turned up on our doorstep. And I think Dad knew of her.
Yes. Yeah. But private, eh?
And wouldn't acknowledge her. And then I was like, Dad, why didn't you acknowledge her? But now I know because he knew, and it was the brother that he was close to.
Oh, fair out.
So I guess
he
didn't want to. Yeah, he didn't want to out his brother at the same time because those two were tight. And I was going, so Uncle had an affair, But and I don't think his children knew. Yeah. But the brother that she had gone to was his brother that was in Havelock. And I thought about it sometimes, and I was going, no wonder Uncle used to come, and Dad would go, no, no, I can't see you today, sort of thing, and we'll go, oh, that's unusual. Yeah. But I think it was because she had come. Yeah. And but honestly, when I first met her and I looked at her, I was like, she looks like my dad.
Oh, so
she looked like him to a T. And I always thought I looked like Dad.
My dad. Yeah.
And I don't even belong to Dad, but it was like, nah, I must be Dad. Like I used to say to Mum, nah, I don't care how pregnant you were at the time. I must be my dad.
Well, I think that shows the quality of your dad. Mum was happy. And he still said, let's get married. Yeah. I'll take the kids. I mean, of course it still happens now, but it's one of those stories. And no doubt, but he was private. It's not like he would have gone to anybody for, hey, should I be doing this? He would have just been like, no, this is my decision. And he was older than Mum. Yeah, so Mum would have been quite vulnerable.
No, I would say that. Because I know Mum was adopted, so her adopted brothers were like, you're not going to be with him, because they knew obviously Mum's first husband, and they must have got married quite young. So when Dad turned up, one of the brothers was just adamant, no.
Does Mum talk fondly about Dad now?
She does. Older age. Probably not remembering a lot of things because of what she's going through. But she never ever said
nasty stuff.
Because there were some moments in their relationship, the arguments, the fights, and they were yuck because we'd see them. But even then, even witnessing them, it was like, just stop. No, because you know what's going to come next. Or, but still not holding it against either one of them. No. But but knowing very well that, you know, there were things Dad should never have done to Mum. But it didn't make me stop loving him less, or like I'd be a little bit, oh, Dad, why didn't you, you know, just stop? And then none of this would happen.
Anything you'd say to Dad now?
Probably, I just love and miss him. I miss him so much. And just thankful for the things he's taught and the memories he's left for me and my kids, especially my two girls. Wouldn't have wanted it anyway. I just wish we had a bit longer. But probably, that'll be it. And I love him that he's accepted my husband.
I'm sure they're talking about you right now.
And I know that, as much as what they didn't even dislike each other. No. They just had their little...
Well, you were the meat in the middle kind of thing.
But, just that. And I know he would have been proud of what Ray did for me mainly, and the way that we were... Because, Dad left him with a lot of things and that he wanted for us, even though Dad went as quick as he did. But, there was a day where Dad grabbed Ray and just took him around the house and did their little...
their inventory list and you're going to do this and do that. And
just this how it is and da-da-da. And Ray did it. And Ray did do it. So,
I think that's special too. You're still in the whānau.
No, very much so. But I love him for that. But knowing now that it was probably a good time, because he went still looking like my dad.
Good.
So I always have that memory, because that's what he was like. Oh, I don't want to go and, you know, don't look like myself or blah blah blah. But no, I still miss him. Miss him heaps.
I think I remember when I was a really young girl, you know, you always go through those confused periods, and somehow I had called my dad. He was only in Kimberley. It's not like he was on the other side of the earth, but picked up our home phone, rang his home phone, and I know that I was just so emotional, and I said something like, do you love me?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not, you know, he wasn't one to say those kind of words, and I think because, you know, the relationship was different.
Yeah.
And it was funny when I did talk to him yesterday, and then, you know, when you're hanging up the phone and, you know, I love you, Dad.
Yeah.
And, doesn't miss a beat now. No. Love you too. Yeah. You know, and then quickly hangs up. Yeah. So I'm just like, for myself, I take that as, you know, that's enough. Yeah. You know, that's something, and to look beyond what the words are saying, you know, the fact you've rung me, you're just doing that quick catch up. Yeah. And we talk about the same kind of things. How's the dog? How's how's the farm? All that kind of thing. He'll ask about, you know, definitely ask about my sister and all those kind of things. So I'm like, it may not have been perfect, and there's so many layers to, you know, especially our old, you know, these old ones.
Definitely.
And that can be pretty cutthroat.
Very.
And you're like, okay, but I don't think, I'm pretty open with my dad. Can broach subjects. He's told me things, especially about our mum, because mum's gone. Yeah. And he knew our mum in a way that probably nobody else knew our mum. When she was well, mentally, physically, when they were child free, when they were without, you know, all the hara and all of that from the wider whānau. So, and I do ask him, you know, what was mum like? Yeah. And so I think
that's kind of cool.
There's probably nobody else that can tell me that. And even just, we've got a couple of photos of mum and dad when they were child free, and it's like, wow, who are those people? You know, they're just like 50 million years ago, and you're just looking at these two people and thinking, wow, how life changed so much.
Yeah, see, I can hand on heart say I never, like Dad, I can't even remember him saying, like, I love you.
Really?
I love you,
but you just knew.
But I just knew. Yeah. He showed his way by feeding you. Yes. The cuddles. Yeah. And, you know,
that was
the little kid who can do this sort of thing.
Really affectionate with the muckles,
though? Oh, yeah. They were. That's why I say it's... like now I wish he was here
He would just
meet and see like Ray Dean. Like I said to Laurie the other day, I said, Dad would have just been on heaven, with her rugby.
Can you imagine?
And just very supportive of all of that, and so proud.
Yes.
Because that's what he wanted out of George. He used to call Laurie George, so. And he'd go, come on, George, that sort of thing. And with Zard being a different thing altogether because of the way she eats.
Yeah.
I said, it'll be the way she eats, hun. Loves her kai, but, like seafood and... tripe, offal, all of those sort of things, tittle, blah, blah, blah. And Dad would have been just over the moon, just and with those sort of things.
Having an island moko.
Absolutely.
Those are kind of things, of course, I'm someone so Dad, we're adopted. But then, they're just so proud of, knowing they got mokos that are from, not the traditional.
No, and I said it's those things. And, like, I talked to the girls, my mokos, and they would have been his only grandchildren too.
They would have.
And that's why I said, he would have been just over the moon. Mm-mm. And I say it as the only grandchildren only because of the, like my brother and sister's kids. But he would have had that same love. Yeah. But if they were here, that's what I was saying, the connections weren't there because they weren't here, like physically here. And loving up on what he did want to give.
And when you do see, like, your dad in his last moments and the lead up to that, it does kind of change the way, you show your love or you remember rather than a sibling being away because for whatever reasons. And it does shape how you feel about your dad even more. You're so protective and you can kind of forgive a lot of things. Put things to the side.
But and as much as they stick with you though, like that's what I was saying, it sticks. Like there's things that you'll never forget, but we'll just leave them over there because these great things that happen outweigh all of that.
And I'm sure, the person that has done, not so great things, I'm sure they kick themselves over and over.
And that's what I'd hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope Mum would be too. Like, hopefully she, doesn't dwell on that because there was a lot of great and beautiful things that they did together that I remember anyway. And I hope, that's probably what I hope that I've done for my kids and can do now for them.
Of course. The legacy of him still lives on, and like what you said, it was stability, the very simple things in life. But even now, what we know, those are hard to, generate within whānau. So you've done it. You've honoured him.
Like especially with the mokos, like my kids, they could. That's why I said men would survive anything. All the stuff.
Make
because
a breed.
like
2 things.
Just chuck a flour in the wood. That's all Dad said. You don't need all the other stuff. As long as you got flour, butter, sugar, the basics. You can make something with nothing. Mika's very like that. She's our hunter. She's our hunter gatherer. Laurie loves. She'll do the camping, the fishing, and all outdoorsy. Of that. And that's what. And Don would go, "Would Papa have loved me?" And I said, "Absolutely." Well, he comes in with the knowledge, all of that, and the hunger to, to get all the information and take it all in. And the kōrero and whakapapa and that, I said, he's just the hive for that kind of thing.
They would have over-exceeded his expectations
I would say so. I would think very much so. It's private and that... Like Dad's emotions, he'd like when Laurie would go past and go, that
but
sort of
that
thing.
meant like huge beer hug. Yeah,
absolutely. And he'd love up on them when they were babies and stuff. And he was a stickler for, going to kiss them. And I said, and Laurie goes, "Oh, I always remember Papa always kissed me on the head." And I said, "Yeah, because he was a smoker.
Yes, yeah.
So he didn't like anywhere around here. He'd go, no, give me your head." So every time I go and kiss Papa, everyone goes like this. It's so funny, that head down. And that was enough for him, but it was enough for us too.
Yeah.
But that's what I said. Oh, that's funny, and I love that Laurie shared all of those things. And she's telling like Radine and Zalia Ray, and because that's what I want them to do.
No doubt.
For Ray, so that the kids know, and I'm slowly telling them stuff that we did when we were young, the photos. They pulled out the albums, and then it's like, oh my god. But Dad's in it too.
Yes.
That's why they were going, "Oh, did Dad and Papa?" Yes, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "These are our Sunday gatherings. Play euchre.
Yes.
Have a few beers, play euchre, have a big kite."
Yep.
That was our Sundays, or just getting together. On the phone. Tell Auntie and Uncle come round. Under the grapevines in the back of our house. They have the table laid out, and it'd be cooking for them and play cards, just having fun, I said, that's the kind of, like you say, parties that they have.
Exactly.
But none, not this, like they'd pump music and he'd be sitting there going, oh.
Papa's going inside.
Or he'll go, "Can you put Barry White on?" Love Barry White. And it was like, "Oh, Dad, you want to go somewhere else?" But that's what I said. Hopefully, can keep giving those kind of memories to the kids. That's what I said. Oh, it's so neat. And because his land in New Haka, so every time we go that way, toot toot.
Yes,
I said, "Papa still owns that land."
It,
And my mate, she's just built a place in Mahi, and she goes, "Oh, every time we go past now, we toot toot, and there's a horse and a goat in the beat." And I went, "Oh, thank you,"
Yes.
But I always say to the kids, that land is yours.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to go wild,
there you go.
There it is. It's there for you. And it's like, oh no.
Oh well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
I think we've covered, just the contrast between our dads and. Your dad's passed, but mine's still here. Mine's still chugging along. Holy!
Yay.
But no, when you've talked about your dad anyway, I always knew he was next level special for you. I could tell. So, I think you just turned into that little girl talking about your dad.
Yeah.
So, but I think what really I thought was interesting was the whole. Your mum was hapu with you. Yeah, I didn't know you'd talk about not step sisters or brothers, but I was like, oh, okay. But when I heard the story, I was like, wow, you just love your dad so much. And of course, it's the only dad you knew.
No, exactly. No, and that's probably the best thing I would say to Mum is like,
thanks, Mum.
Thanks. I'm glad. So happy that he chose me. Yeah. But and then I think that's what my siblings missed out on, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I still got them.
Thank you.
But cool, thank you.